one of them was Cabernet Sauvignon. It's a very premium Cabernet Sauvignon, and he named it Darmaji. Well, why?
So, in 1978, my father decided to plant Cabernet Sauvignon in the Barbaresco area. Why Cabernet? Because first he wanted to show the greatness of the territory of the land. He wanted to show that this was the election territory for the production of Nebbiolo, but it was a territory also that can be suitable for the production of other varieties and can show its greatness through other varieties. The problem was that his father, so my grandfather Giovanni, was a believer in Nebbiolo. For him, the color of the wine in Piedmont was red, period.
You just mentioned earlier, he's very, very traditional, you know, the Piemonte or Barbaresco centric, and everything is about Nebbiolo, everything's about Barbaresco, you know, so he's very traditional.
Yeah, very traditional.
Your grandfather.
He never considered the whites.
Yeah.
For him, it was only Nebbiolo. So you can imagine how he would have taken the news of planting Cabernet. So my father knew that he would have never approved. Still, there was this beautiful vineyard that previously was Nebbiolo and is a vineyard where today Darmaji is planted, which was a vineyard that is in the center of Barbaresco, on the central hill of Barbaresco, and it was a vineyard located just below the house where my grandfather used to live. So every morning when my grandfather was waking up, he was opening the windows of his bedroom and he had this beautiful view on this wonderful vineyard of Nebbiolo. So my father waited for, it was winter of 1978. He waited for my grandfather to go on vacation.
Okay.
And my grandfather left for around 2 weeks. And when he was gone, he called the vineyard manager and said, take, you know that vineyard of Nebbiolo in the center of Barbaresco under Giovanni's house? Take it away and replant it with the Cabernet Sauvignon.
Okay.
So after 2 weeks, when my grandfather returned home, he was doing the road to go up to his house, and he sees that this vineyard of Nebbiolo magically disappeared.
Oh my God.
So he called the vineyard manager and said, angry, said, what did you do? And the vineyard manager said, look, this is not my fault. This is your son that told me to take away Nebbiolo and plant it with Cabernet Sauvignon. And when my grandfather heard the news, he did like this, Darmaji, which means what a shame. Darmaji is a Piedmontese word. It's very similar to French. In French is dommage. So Darmaji is a Piedmontese for what a shame.
What a shame. Okay, I see. So for you, if next time you do something similar, just make sure to remind your father about the story between him and his father.
Yeah, I mean, with my father, both me and my sisters, Gaia and Rossana, we haven't reached a Darmaji point.
Not yet.
Yet, at least.
Not yet. But regardless, Darmaji Cabernet Sauvignon proved to the world that Gaia is able to, the land and your family is able to produce an international good varietal. It stands in the best Cabernet of the world.
Yes, I agree. And it was also a way to create more interest on Nebbiolo.
Yeah.
Because when my father started to travel in the 1970s, nobody knew Nebbiolo. Mm-hmm. Nobody understood Nebbiolo, because also it was a Nebbiolo different from today. Today, I think Nebbiolo is changing into more flexible variety, something that you can start to approach also at an earlier stage.
Yeah.
Back then, it was a lot of acidity, a lot of tannins, very harsh expression, so it was very difficult to drink young. So when people were drinking Darmaji or Gaia or Altendi Brassica, so they knew that they were international varieties, they knew more or less what to expect, but then they had to discover where the wine was coming from. So they had to discover that it was coming from Barbaresco, that in Barbaresco the most planted variety is Nebbiolo, that Nebbiolo is used to make Barbaresco and Barolo wine. So it was a way also to fuel the interest on Nebbiolo and the Barolo and Barbaresco region.
Well, for Barbaresco, since I know that actually I would like to remind or to clarify to the fans of Gaia that actually Gaia is the heart of Gaia is from Barbaresco.
Yeah.
So Barbaresco, in Barbaresco you have 3 single vineyards, and you have the Barbaresco DOCG.
Yeah.
So what's the difference? I mean, so the single vineyard, I know that they're from single vineyard, but how about the Barbaresco, which is the not the flag, yes, the core.
The Barbaresco for us is the flagship wine of the winery.
Okay.
It's the only wine that has always been produced for more than 160 years, and that every single generation has always been focusing on. So the Barbaresco is the wine we are known for, and the wine that truly represents who we are. The Barbaresco for us is a blend of 14 different vineyards of Nebbiolo. 11 of these vineyards are located in the Barbaresco village. 3, they come from the village of Treviso, which is always part of the Barbaresco denomination. The secret behind the Barbaresco is the diversity, because the 14 vineyards are completely different from each other in terms of soil exposure, exposition, soil components. So they're completely different, but when you blend them together, they become complementary, and each one helps the other one.
A little contribution to the style.
Exactly, and so all together, exactly, they create complexity and they give you that.
All right, Giovanni, we've been talking about Barbaresco so much. Why don't we have a drink? Drinking that wine.
Yes, please.
Yes. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.
It's very, very elegant. But I know
it's a
that
great breakfast.
I know. Isn't it great? This is you can put it with omelet. But anyway, I know that not every year you just mentioned that you produce the single vineyard. So what happened to the year that you don't produce the single vineyard?
So
what happened to the grapes?
For example, we have 2 examples: 2018 and 2019 vintages.
Yeah.
Both years we decided to skip the production of Soria San Lorenzo, Soritildine, and Costa Russi. So in 2018, the reason was that we had a big hailstorm that affected mostly the Barbaresco area. It's around 30 hectares in the center of Barbaresco. And in 2018, we had part of the vineyards that usually go into the production of the Barbaresco that were damaged by hail. Mm-hmm. And also Soria San Lorenzo was damaged by hail, because Soria San Lorenzo it's in the center of Barbaresco. So in 2018, we made a decision to make a selection out of the 14 usual vineyards that go into the Barbaresco. We selected 6, and then to these 6, to help the Barbaresco, we added Costa Russi and Soritildine, because they actually were in perfect conditions.
There are still grape bunches that are still perfect. No, right?
Yeah, well, Soritildine and Costa Russi were not really affected by this hail, because they are located a little bit outside of the village of Barbaresco, so they were not affected by hail. So we decided to use Costa Russi and Soritildine, and we blended them together in the Barbaresco 2018. Soria San Lorenzo was not used because it was damaged. So also Soritildine, Soria San Lorenzo, Costa Russi, they are a trinity. They always go together. It has never happened since the first year of production that one came out and the other 2 no, or 1 out of 3 or 2 out of 3. They either come out all the 3 or none of them comes out.
Okay.
And then in 2019, also we did something similar, because the hail that affected us in 2018 was very violent, and it did not affect damaged only the grapes, but it damaged also some of the gems that were supposed to give production for the next year. So some of the vineyards that we used for the Barbaresco, even in 2019, were very unbalanced. And so even in 2019, we decided to make a selection of the vineyards, and then we added Soritildine, Soria San Lorenzo, and Costa Russi.
Wow. So see, this is really being responsible, not only responsible, but pushing for perfection. So actually, for the fans of Gaja, don't worry about good vintages or bad vintages. In good vintages, you will be able to enjoy the single vineyards, but just so happens that there might be a lesser vintage, but the Barbaresco will be incredible, because it will be joined by the single vineyards and the best vineyards of Gaja, which is the 3: Soritildine, Soria San Lorenzo, and Costa Russi. Yeah. So I think this is very, very interesting, and it's very important for the lover of Gaja to know about it. That is great. And previously, you also already mentioned about how your father is expanding into different parts of Italy. And why not abroad for your father? Not for your father. Why Italy only so far?
That's a tough question. Well, in 1985,
Yeah.
I think I have the right. My father did have an opportunity to create something together with Robert Mondavi. He always had a beautiful friendship with Robert. I think Robert influenced a lot my father, and there was actually mutual estimation from both sides. And at the moment, I think he was not ready. I think my father has few regrets in his life, but that is probably one of the few that if you ask him today, he would tell you that it was a mistake. But after that, in 1985, he was not ready. Also, Gaja was still at the time in 1985 only focused on Barbaresco. We didn't even have Barolo, because then my father bought a property in Serralunga in the heart of the Barolo area in 1988. And then 1996 he developed Contesa, which is our single vineyard from La Morra. But after that experience, after a few years, in the mid of the 1990s, then he expanded in expanded. I don't like. He broadened our horizons in Pieve Santa Restituta, in Montalcino, and then Camarcanda. Also, at that time, neither myself or my two sisters, Gaia or Rossana, were involved in the winery. So it was not the right time to do it. I was born in 1993, and then my father felt hope for the future. And then in 1994 and 1996 he moved to Tuscany. So I think there's a time for everything.
Yes.
And probably at that time he was not ready, but
I think
it's not bad.
I think it's a beautiful mistake.
Yeah,
it's actually not a mistake. I think he might regret at that time, but actually it turned out to be even better.
Yeah.
It's incredible winery that you and your family has created in Bolgheri and Brunello. Then suddenly went all the way to Sicily.
In 2017 we developed the new project in Sicily, Idda, southwestern slope of the Etna volcano. We're very excited because also it's the first partnership that we have done in our history, because it's a partnership with the Gracci family, Alberto and Elena Gracci. Alberto has a winery located in the northern slope of Etna called Gracci. And together we decided to focus in the southwestern slope of Etna. Etna is the tallest volcano of Europe, active volcano. There are
active volcano.
Around 50 eruptions per year.
So what happened if that 50 a year?
Well,
so will it affect the vine?
In the last 250 years, all the eruptions have focused on the on the western slope of Etna.
Okay.
Where is the only slope at the moment where you don't have production of vineyards, because the vineyards are north, east, and south.
So the soils is extremely complex because of the eruption.
Yeah. Well, on the western slope, at the moment you don't have production because all the lava flows comes down. We hope that for the next 250 years it's gonna stay like that. But telling a volcano what to do is not always the easiest thing.
Yeah.
And so Angelo met Alberto in 2016. And it was love at first sight.
Wow.
Because there was a sharing of beliefs, of values, of vision, and together we decided to create this new project on Etna.
Wow, how about you? Your father, I mean, you're the fifth generation. How old is Angelo, your father?
84.
84. So it's really up to you and your sister now. So he'll still be very healthy, very active. I am sure about that.
Still incredibly active.
He's still very feisty. But I think, how about you? What do you have in your mind, and that your not
Yeah.
plan. I think plan is a little too serious.
I mean,
but what is in your heart or what is in?
so at the moment we have 2 new wineries brand new. We have Ida in Sicily, the new project in Atalanga. So at the moment we're focusing a lot in giving these 2 projects our full dedication and full time to develop them gradually and consistently. And the future is the future. We are very positive about the future. I think we still have a lot that we can express from each of our wineries. And then maybe it always depends on opportunity.
Yeah.
If the right opportunity comes, then we will be happy to consider it. For me, my dream would be very interesting to find a new area, maybe outside of Italy, where we could explore the potential of Nebbiolo.
Okay. Oh,
Because
that
Nebbiolo,
would be interesting.
Nebbiolo is a very little princess. Nebbiolo. Because it's a variety that requires a lot of passion to cultivate. You need to have the right soils, and in the soil you need to have a good amount of clay, but not too much.
Okay.
Limestone, but again not too much. So
is
everything needs to be in balance. It's not easy because it's difficult to find other wine regions outside of Barolo and Barbaresco where Nebbiolo could give the results that could be similar to the original expression. But it's a dream, and maybe one day will come true.
Yeah, I think it's possible, and I think that actually I didn't thought about that because most of the family, the renowned family, when they go abroad, they would always adopt or plant the current grape varietal that is at that area.
Yeah.
But it's actually very, very interesting and innovative to bring Nebbiolo outside.
It's very ambitious, it's very challenging because Nebbiolo is not called an indigenous variety for nothing.
Yeah.
Because it's really connected to the characteristics, climatic conditions and soil condition that we have in Barbaresco or in the Langhe region. So it will be, I think, very difficult, but again, maybe it will come true.
I'm sure along the way you will make little regrets or little mistake like your father, but at the end, I think with what you just told me, I truly believe that the dream will come true, and I wait. You know, maybe my son will be very happy to see that too. He's still in college now, but and one is still in high school, but sooner or later, I'm sure it's gonna be very good, and it's very innovative. So, 各位朋友，其实任何成功的一件事情呢，都不是偶然的，然后呢，也都不可能一帆风顺。那这个故事呢，其实是在意大利非常非常伟大的一个意大利家族，来自于意大利的北部，叫 Piemonte。那他们的跌跌撞撞，今天赤裸裸的呢，由他第5代跟大家分享。我觉得这一集非常有意义的。And I really thank Giovanni coming here to Taiwan and also to be able to reveal so many truth from the bottom of the heart. We call it the heart and the soul, and share it with the fans of Gaja and the wine lovers. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't need a lot of convincing to come to Taiwan.
Thank you so much. Thank you. 谢谢大家。如果喜欢这一集，请记得订阅、分享、按赞，还有敲小铃铛。我是威爸，我非常谢谢你们很耐心的呢，来陪我一起听故事、喝果汁。Thank you, Giovanni.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers, everyone.